I know. Anyway, guys, we're so happy to see all of you tonight. We invited Andy because the topic is Fiverr, and he is the guy when it comes to teaching you how to get lots of jobs and do really well on that freelance site. So that's our topic this evening. And a quick reminder to turn your phone off. I'm looking around for mine. It's not here, so we're good. So we're not distracted. And in our time together, you're going to discover, hey, how to get your first or even your next job on Fiverr, which is the world's biggest freelance site, and how to get started the right way without spinning your wheels or wasting your time or your money. And it's for you if you're new to voiceover, you're wondering how a beginner can get started on Fiverr. It's actually a great site for new folks.
It is.
Isn't it, Andy, to get your feet wet, get proof of concept. A lot of our students got their start there, and a lot. And Andy, we'll talk about this a little later. The other day, Andy goes, "Yeah, the student you had, like when you started your business, he's making like multiple six figures on Fiverr." I'm like, "What? He didn't even
Yes,
tell me." So that could be you. You guys,
it
you're in the
could be
right
you.
place. You're in the right place at the right time. And people, there are all kinds of myths about Fiverr out there. They're like, it's only you make $5, you're going to get blacklisted. It's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with reality. You need the right person like Andy to explain it to you. And that's why we're here tonight. And maybe you're hearing rumors of voiceover doom and gloom. You're wondering if it's even possible to get started because of AI. We're going to talk about that too. It absolutely is. So let's do that actually right about right now, Andy.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Because the other day I saw an article in the Wall Street Journal. Maybe you saw it too. And the Wall Street Journal wrote that businesses don't necessarily trust AI and haven't yet started using it in a widespread way because of the lack of reliability. Now, we use it. Andy uses it all the time, Chat GPT, to write and
Oh,
get
yeah,
things done. But
exactly.
the promise of it's never going to replace humans, never going to replace us. Here's a true story. Narrator Adam Werner, he's a really successful audiobook narrator, and he's one of our instructors here. He
Great
was not,
course.
yeah, he's great. He was hired to narrate a series of books for a major publisher. A series. He read the first few books, but then the rights holder decided to do the rest with AI. And then they got terrible feedback on the AI narrated book. It was so bad, the rights holder immediately hired Adam back to complete the remaining books in the series. Our student Bob Loudermilk had a recurring voiceover customer on Upwork who decided to use AI instead of Bob. The results were so bad, the customer ditched the AI voice and came running back to Bob. And Andy, you just gave me an example. Why don't you share it? We were talking yesterday.
I'm
What
working on a
happened?
job right now
Yeah.
where the client's not telling me that it's, in this case, it's going to be a voiceover in Spanish that is going to be overlaid on an existing video in English. So I'm basically replacing um, English with Spanish, but they did a translation for the script, and then they did this voiceover, which the person didn't say if it was AI or not, it was. And both the translation and the voiceover are so off-putting. I had to find, because at first he actually wanted to get me to do a consultation with him on Fiverr. I give consultations on Fiverr. That's one of the things that you can offer later on. And I said, man, I don't have the heart to charge you. I'm going to tell you for free what's wrong with your thing. And if you want to hire me, that's great. It was it was going to be so bad for him if he released this. um, I just said, man, whatever you do, use me or not, but you need to have a human being do that translation and also have a human being to do the voice. And he's like, can you do it? I was like, well, thinking, well, you came in through my voiceover gig, so you obviously, you know, at least heard me. Um, and I said, yes, it's this much and it'll take this much time. And he's like, fine, tell me how to do it. It's my first time on here, because it's not, you guys are not just first timers on Fiverr. There are a lot of people also as first time buyers and they don't know what to do. And I was like, listen, man, I'll take care of you. And I already finished fixing up his script. Now I'm going to voice it as soon as we're done here. And he's going to be so happy. And they're just going to have a good product.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean,
in this,
this is happening all across America. Uh, so there are plenty of jobs where people want humans. There are on Fiverr, Andy was explaining it to me the other day. There was a thing where you can clone your own voice and sell it back to people, but talent people aren't doing that anymore. Like real
well,
briefly,
I'm
Andy,
not.
tell us what
Um,
that's all about.
it's not something that you can do as a new seller, at least not yet. But they were offering people at different levels the ability to clone their own voice through Fiverr, and then people could hire them their cloned voices, and you'd get the money for that job. Um, but the feedback from people who were hiring it is complaining to the voice actor that his cloned voice is not human sounding, and they're like, well, because you're hiring an AI. And
Yeah, exactly.
and
So it's failing
so
miserably, basically.
it's not doing well.
Yeah, it is not doing well. So real stories. So tonight, you guys, you're going to get a proven system to help you get started on Fiverr. More experienced people will get a system to help you go from where you are to where you want to be on Fiverr if you've done it already. And you'll discover the only way to get voiceover jobs on Fiverr without wasting your time is to crack the Fiverr algorithm. And the only way to crack the Fiverr algorithm is with our Get Fiverr Jobs training, which we'll tell you about shortly. So, real quick about me, I know there's some new people on the line, and we didn't even ask who's new. We'll do that in a minute.
Susan
I
is a voiceover superstar, by the way,
Oh, you're
everybody.
so
Don't
sweet.
let her be. It,
Oh.
take your bows, Susan. You are
Well, I am the signature voice of City. I was the voice of AT&T for many years. I have a radio background. I used to work with Howard Stern, and I am a professional voice talent. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I founded greatvoice.com to help you guys. I love working with you. What is life, if you just like hang out alone and never share anything with anyone? So the best thing I ever did was to start training people, and it just enriches my life and allows me to have so many great team members, people like Andy and Donna, Deborah, and Joe, and our whole Great Voice team. So life is really good. And I've written a few books, including Speak to Influence, which is you'll find on Amazon, and Voiceover Secrets Exposed, which all of you have, and have been featured in the New York Times, CNBC, and ABC News. And Andy, I didn't even introduce you. How rude of me, because you're my guest tonight. So Andy is originally from Washington, D.C., and lives in Cancun, Mexico with his family. How long have you been there, Andy?
I've been here a little over 30 years. It was DC and Maryland for the first 12, then Miami for a bunch of years, and the last 30 here in Cancun.
It's
And
beautiful.
life
Mhm.
is good.
And since 2016, Andy's been working as a full-time bilingual voice talent,
Yes.
not just on Fiverr. But would you say Fiverr's like 25% of what you do?
Now it's closer to almost 40%. I was doing the
Wow.
math yesterday of what I do is on Fiverr, but I do plenty off and more now than ever.
That's, so Andy is the highest level of seller on Fiverr. He's done Fiverr for years. Over the time he's been on Fiverr, the latest number, Andy has sold $404,000 worth of voiceovers on Fiverr. So let's give him a round of applause, Andy. I mean, man, what an
It's
accomplishment.
it's still strange to see that number. I don't look at the numbers anymore because I really have to focus. Otherwise, I'm gonna get distracted and sit there go, oh wow, what did I do with the money? Yeah,
It's crazy. But you've got great clients there. I mean, it's not just mom and pops.
no,
Verizon, Marriott, Comcast, Anheuser-Busch, American Express, and Seagram's.
all through Fiverr.
Yeah. And my great pleasure is to have Andy on our team. He's one of our demo coaches and can
I
do demos in both English and Espanol of all the types.
And we're doing one now. We're going to record next Friday. He speaks English with a Spanish accent,
Oh,
and we're going to do an English with Spanish accent demo, and it's
that's
going to be
awesome.
cool.
It's going to be great because you're coaching it. It's great.
Yep.
So now we can ask, if this is your first time on one of our trainings, welcome. So please find the chat and type fast first time, and we'll welcome you. We have a
Ooh,
lot of people on the line. So
Oh,
Cindy, welcome.
Lisa, Wolf,
Oh my goodness, it's
Anna.
gonna be too many to even say.
Oh, wow.
Nikki and
Nikki.
Mark and Terry, Janelle and Brian and Portia.
Oh,
Hey, welcome guys.
yay.
And Sean,
Howdy.
Sean the
Brett,
third time, he's counting.
hey,
Sandra,
Johnny.
it's a nice name, Emmanuel, John, and oh my goodness, Sam and Jack and David. If we missed your, it's the names
Four
so
times
quickly.
before,
Melissa,
David.
Ben, welcome back, Ben. Ben's here. It's our welcoming committee. Captain Zorik, love it. I don't think we've ever had a captain on here. That's
Oh, I
lovely.
never.
Yeah. Welcome, you guys. John. All right, good. Terrific. Now, what
Well,
we're going to
welcome.
cover is how Fiverr works. You're going to hear some of Andy's examples, his demo anyway. Top 5 ways to be successful and find out all about this upcoming Get Fiverr Jobs masterclass that Andy is personally teaching. So
Zach.
if you're new, look at the screen. There's 4 ways to get voiceover jobs. Fiverr is one of them, so is Upwork. They're both the freelance sites. But so are friends and referrals, so are auditions, and so is direct marketing to targeted leads, which I teach in other trainings. So tonight the topic is Fiverr. What is it? Let me go back here. It is a freelance services marketplace connecting businesses with sellers offering digital services in over 500 categories.
You name it, you can find it on Fiverr.
That's right. Voiceover is only one of it.
Yeah.
You can find graphic artists, you can find
Video people.
yeah, any
I've used it for editors.
Yes.
Yes, illustrators as well in my own books.
yeah, I've used it. I hired a guy to do the logo of 2 logos for me there. So yeah, so it's not just voice talent, but there are many voice talent, and it's a place where companies go to find voiceover artists. So think of it this way, guys. If Fiverr is a mall, your profile on Fiverr is your storefront, and what they call your gigs are the products you sell.
That's it.
That's it.
It's pretty simple. Not
How it
easy, but
works.
simple.
Buyers prepay for your services. Get that, guys. They prepay.
Prepay.
So if somebody finds you, they've already paid. They're a buyer. They say, okay, I need a voiceover. I have this thing. I've got this is my budget. Then they go out onto Fiverr, right, Andy? And they do a search.
Yeah. And you pop up.
That's right. They find your gig, right, which is the services you offer.
Hmm.
They contact you on Fiverr. You negotiate a rate with them and upsells, and we'll show you what that looks like in a minute.
Hmm.
You record and deliver the job, and you lather, rinse, and repeat.
Exactly. You
They
get
release
paid.
the
Well,
payment
yeah.
plus tips. Who knew you got tipped on Fiverr? And then they rate your service, and you get more jobs. It's as simple as that. What
And the
percentage
wheel
of the
keeps
money you
turning.
make, Andy, is tips?
I've never looked at the percentage. I just know that roughly one out of every one out of every 2 new client tips, and then 1 out of every about 5 existing client tips. Because after a while, you know, we've got our price to where they're happy, I'm happy, and with regular clients, it really does just become a wheel. And
Right.
they send a job, I do it. The money is never even talked about, because they're happy, I'm happy, and that's where you start to build and get traction.
That's beautiful. Really cool. So this is what Andy's Fiverr profile looks like. We can't really go on the site. It's against their terms of services. So Andy was kind enough to take the screenshot.
Mhm.
And you'll say just like, I don't think people can read the small print, but basically, I'm going to play the video that you'll see here in a moment as a separate thing. What's different about Fiverr is your demo has to be a video file, right, Andy?
Now it does. Now it's not the law of the land, but as I was talking to my person at Fiverr, it really is the reality of Fiverr. Got to have
So what that means is you don't appear on video, you guys. You turn your demo into an MP4 file, which is a
Exactly.
type of video file. And some people will put imagery behind it that isn't you. So that's one of the things we're going to teach you in this course. So Andy describes himself, professional American male, English and Spanish voiceover. Quick about me, which is really about the customer, Andy. His skills.
Everything has to be done, you know, in terms of the customer. Instead of me, it's what can I do for you,
Yeah.
to simplify our lives.
And they say you've gotten over 1.6 thousand jobs, right?
No, I've gotten over 1.6 thousand reviews on that particular. Yeah. It's at least 2,800 individual jobs.
That's beautiful.
Some of them are 3 and 4 and 12 voiceovers to a job. So
That's great.
that's the most humbling thing in the world, is to see that and go, oh my God, when I started out, I almost quit.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that'll be an interesting. Well, why don't you tell us that right now? When did you start?
Okay. I officially started in 2015, and then I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know how to fill things out. And then I just said, forget this. And then in 2017-ish is when I saw something about Fiverr in a news report about somebody making $1 million on Fiverr. And then I said, I need to get my butt onto Fiverr and do this for real and stop playing around. And about 2017-ish, I got real serious. 2018 is when I was already starting to make money, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say you support your family from the money on Fiverr?
Yes.
And
Yes,
that's
I support my family. I support people who are not in my immediate family. It's really been it's been a blessing. It really has. It's been work, because anything worth having is worth working for. But I really don't think I could have gone full time when I did without knowing that I was going to have Fiverr there.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. All right, so let's listen. This is what remember I showed you Andy's video, right? This is the video of your demo, which is a static image in this case.
Yeah, it's real simple. In this case, I just made a static image and put my demo, my voiceover demo, my sample of my work behind it. And that's what people see when they go onto the platform and look for voice actors. And Fiverr will put up a selection of people for you to choose from as a buyer. I recommend going on to Fiverr, looking up voiceover, voice actor, whatever you want to call it. And Fiverr, thinking in terms of you, will show you some people. And this is what they'll see.
Let's play it.
The mist on the water in the morning, the sound of the campfire at night, those priceless traditions of your way of life. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, voted America's best outdoor retailer. Is it a quesadilla? Is it a taco? Yes, it is. Del Taco's new stuffed quesadilla tacos are here, and they are cheese-tastic. Can I get a Del yeah? Spectrum Business is made to work, just like your small business, and made to do it all with fast, easy-to-use, ultra-reliable internet phone and mobile services. We give you our word. When you book an Airbnb up here or down there, we've got your back with the most comprehensive protection in travel, always included and always free. Air cover, only with Airbnb. From big cities to small towns and on main streets across the country, you'll find PNC Bank. We're proud to call these places home too. It all starts with a Chevy truck, the Chevy Silverado with the Turbo Max engine and the Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Breaking with centuries of tradition, Don Julio Gonzalez created the world's first short tequila bottle, so his guests could look each other in the eye to connect across the table. a bold move that inspired the world's first luxury tequila. Don Julio, make your move.
There you go. How long is that, Andy?
I don't know exactly.
Short.
What you have on Fiverr for your video, you have up to 1 minute and 15 seconds. And I just start out straight into the actual stuff that they're going to hear. Remember, we've only got a short time to, really present ourselves. And so I dispense with introductions or anything like that and go right into the work so that they can be able to hear something. And somebody asked, why do I have so many gigs? Because there are a lot of services that I offer. It's English, Spanish, English with a Spanish accent, it's narration, it's commercial in both. And I'm also a pro on Fiverr. So I deal, Fiverr positions me and sells me out to corporations directly. So we can have different things that you can offer people, and you grow. I started out with 1 gig. You start out with 1 gig and then grow from there.
What software did you use, Andy, to make this MP4?
I used Laura. It's so great to see one of my students here. What I used is something called Headliner app, and it took me 10 minutes. I just put my picture on the what do you call it, on the app, slapped the audio behind it, and it did all the heavy lifting, sent me a link, and I downloaded it. It's not, I try not to complicate. I don't want you guys to complicate your lives. You can later have, and I do, where these things are actually turned into full audio commercial type images. That's what I use for my commercial corporate clients through Fiverr Pro.
Yeah.
But for this, you just need to have something with an image. The first thing they're gonna click on is this video image that you have in front of you. Then we take it from there.
Yeah. Well, I just want to point a few things out. Number one, the colors really pop, Andy.
Well,
There's not a lot of text on here. Just get right to the point. Pro voiceover, American Mail, 24-hour delivery. The beautiful blue against the orange. You look friendly. You look warm here. Certainly professional. Like business casual dress. And it's very inviting. It's
well,
great.
like Paul just said, simple, clean, and eye-catching. Remember that a lot of the people who are hiring us are first looking at us through their phones. So we also have to just be able to not be too crowded and get something that's going to catch people's eye, because you're going to have a whole page of these. Whole
Right.
page of these rectangular images, these thumbnails, and people are going to have to choose from that. And maybe if I look, I guess, trustworthy, they'll hire me, or pro, or something in the text, 24-hour delivery. Maybe they need it now.
Yeah, it's really captivating, as Judy says. Now, there's that little circle that was pulsating on the microphone there.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
That's something that's through Headliner, is just to give it a little something, a little animated something, just so people don't get bored just looking at a picture. So at least something is moving. And seriously, I just moved the circle onto it from Headliner's menu of options, and it's free. Headliner's free. You just go in and use it.
Yeah,
I use it. So yes, Paul, I use the free Headliner service.
That's great. Okay.
The mist
Oh, beautiful. I'm going to move on here.
No more mist.
Great. Hold on. Let me escape from this.
The mist
How
on
do
the
I get to
water.
the next slide? There we go. I'm going to
There's
do
no
this.
escaping.
There's no escaping. Everywhere I go, it's Andy. Okay, so here are all images of all the different gigs Andy does. And then we have the extras. Now, the extras are where you really start to make money on Fiverr. So you have a basic rate for your services, and then all of these add-ons like proofreading for an extra $5, commercial rights, 25, full broadcast. What's the difference between commercial and full broadcast?
Anything that's produced for a business I
Mhm.
charge commercial rights, because a lot of times what we're doing isn't going to be broadcast on any kind of media. It's not going to be done on social media, radio, or TV. This is for internal use. It could be for training. It could be for an internal presentation. It could be for an award ceremony for a company. So I charge them a little extra for use as a business. Sometimes people are using these things for personal use, where I'm doing a phone message as Santa Claus for somebody's grandkid.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, and broadcast rights, I charge it if they're going to use it on radio, TV, more than anything now for use on any kind of social media.
Right. Sure. And what's your basic rate now, Andy?
It really depends on the gig, but to give you guys an idea, an average job that's about a minute long nets me about $100, and I'll knock that out in, I don't know, 25 minutes.
Yeah. That doesn't suck. That's great.
Yes.
And then when you time the
That
you
was
time
great, Susan.
you
And
time the audio. What is timed audio sync?
okay, when they want me to go ahead and match my voiceover to images on a screen, it's $15 a minute. If they want me to dub it, meaning I have to replace an on-screen speaker, that's going to be anywhere from $20 to $30 a minute. And things really start to add up. You know, on a training video, somebody just came to me, a regular 2,600 words for a training video. That's going to be somewhere around $1,500.
That's great.
And I'm
So
going to knock
I'm
that out.
just looking at all these different things you guys add on
Yeah.
here. Sometimes if people want to direct you live, well, they pay for
Yes.
that.
Mhm.
And that happens. But it takes an extra day,
Yeah,
for the
they'll do.
job
Well, I asked for an extra day
schedule.
we'll have to figure out a day and a time and that kind of thing. Um, and usually it adds time because they've got to get their client, and we do it all through Zoom. You
That's
know,
great.
I take this same camera, run it into my booth so they can listen to me and watch me, and I'll just go ahead and do their voiceover, and they can direct me, which is a very fun thing. And I wish all voiceover jobs were directed.
It's so much fun. I love them too.
Yes,
Video transcription, you transcribe a video if they want
to
you
get their script.
to sign a non-disclosure agreement. You sign actually you charge an extra $20. Why not?
Sure, why not?
And dubbing, like you were describing.
Well, in this case, yes. In this case, for that gig, it was $20 a minute. And this is really something that I could do. I have experience that I've gained since I've been on Fiverr. I've learned to dub. I've learned to sync my voice. I've gained so many skills from Fiverr jobs because people have asked me for it. And now I can offer that in my regular business. So
That's
been the snowball effect of Fiverr on my voiceover business.
That's awesome, Andy. Great stuff. All right, so let's keep it moving here. Front of the line. Oh, that's one thing. So if somebody wants to rush service, they pay
Yeah,
an extra 75
I
bucks.
voice their thing first.
That's great. How many people do you have waiting at any one time?
3 to 5. I really do try to knock these things out. I have a board right here in front of me, kind of like the surgery board on the TV shows. And I just, apart from my CRM, I've got this dry erase board right here in front of me. And as soon as I get the job done, I exit out, erase it, go on to the next, and just work until I knock the board out. And I've got 2 more jobs tonight to finish, to call it a day.
That's great. Well, and people here, this was a few years ago. This guy was featured on CNBC. Joel Young, 35-year-old dad makes 1.5 million doing voiceover in a Fiverr side hustle.
He is a champion and a great actor.
Yeah.
Super great voice actor. And he's a cool guy, very simple. And he also just does it so that he can just go in and organizes his day so that he can go in, record, edit, send, record, edit, send. And, once you get a system down, which is what we teach, you can really do the same thing and not really have to think about everything.
Yeah. You were telling me today earlier of an actress who does about 600 voiceovers a month.
She
She's
is
making over 20 grand a month and she's recording 2 hours a day.
her nickname on Fiverr is Red, and she does. I read an article about her on some online source. I don't know if it was the New York Times or something else, but she records 600 voiceovers a month. She has an editor. She has someone else to help her, organize all of her scripts. She works 2 hours a day. She goes in, she works for an hour, she takes a break because we're human and we have voices to destroy, and has her water or whatever, and then goes back in, knocks out the rest, and hands everything over to her editor or sends it to her editor and does the same thing the next day. She is a machine, and she is working on a system.
Yeah, it's great. And this great voice student you're telling me about, Dane Scott,
Yes,
making 15,000 a month. That's not bad.
Dane took your what was it called, your
Boot
boot
camp years ago.
in the 90s, Susan, late 90s, I want to say. And he also has a system. He's got his voiceover setup is a U-shaped desk. He's got a couple of monitors, and he just goes. And it's
Thanks for
really
that.
it's really, he doesn't have to think. Once you take the thinking and the chaos aspect out of it, you can really have fun. And that's where I think we can really be good as voice actors. You don't think, then you can just act.
Yeah. And people are asking about the editing, Andy. You guys, if you don't know how to work your home studio, sign up for our home studio masterclass. And after that 30-day sprint, you'll be good to go. So let's talk about the 5 ways to be successful on Fiverr, Andy. Your
Mm,
gig has to be search optimized. Really, Fiverr is a giant algorithm.
it is.
So you
Big
need the
search
right
engine.
keywords. So what are some of the, any keyword having to do with voiceover, right?
Well, your gig, when it says search optimized, so that we're not freaking people out with technical terms, we've just got to put words in the title that people are searching for. So when you're a client and you're looking for somebody to voice something, words they might use are voiceover, narration, narrator, voice talent, voice actor. Um, those are words that should be in your title or in your gig description, which is your offering of what you provide in your service, and something to pop. Like, I will offer a high quality human American male voiceover. Um, or I will offer, a fast human voiceover in Spanish. And if people are looking for Spanish, if people are looking for human, because, and in my gig description, I'll put, this is not AI. If they're putting in not AI in the search, it might send them to you. We've got to think as buyers.
Yeah.
Then we can act as sellers.
So we teach you this. We have a whole class on
Yes.
this in the program we're about to talk. And the gig video, there's a lot of iterations, different ways to do it. We're going to teach you all about that. So it doesn't get buried. You saw the nice job Andy did. The profile, there's some parts to that profile. We take you step by step through how to do that. And buyers need to see you're legit, right, Andy?
I mean, it's just to make things simple. Your profile consists of an image and text. Both have to reinforce somebody's decision to hire you. Who would you hire to voice a voicemail about your company, your business? You want somebody that you can trust. And all of that has to feed into trust.
That's right. And Fiverr tracks response time. So one thing about Fiverr, right, is you do need to be available and respond, right?
Yes. Fiverr is the Wizard of Oz. Um, Data is what moves it. And, you know, they want, they know that Fiverr is here to make money. They know that if clients are happy, they're going to hire you, and Fiverr is going to make money from what you sell.
They get 20%.
Exactly. So if you sell, Fiverr makes money. So who do they think is going to sell well? People who are trustworthy, people who respond quickly to messages from prospective clients, people who have reliable faces, people who have good voice samples. Fiverr, instead of calling voiceover demos, they call them samples, just a little vocabulary difference. And all of this is tracked. They track how long it takes you to answer a message, how quickly somebody reviews your work if they tip you. Tipping is a great sign that somebody's really happy with your work. And Fiverr's like, oh, I think we're going to slide them a little higher in the search.
Yeah.
So all of these things are really important.
So Paul asks Sandy, it's a side gig. What happens if he can't immediately respond when he's at work? Will he get dinged?
No, you won't get dinged. I mean, it's just respond as quickly as you can. We all have lives. We're all really, we're humans. We have families, we have lives, we have jobs, we get sick, we have to
On
eat,
vacation.
we have to eat, we have to go on vacation.
You have to sleep.
Do the best you can. Headliner app, actually, I don't have an iPhone, TJ. I actually use it on a computer. So it's not to record on it. It's just to take stuff that you've already recorded and put things together. It's an assembly editing. But the thing is do the best you can. And, but do I have the Fiverr app on my phone? You better believe I do, so that I can answer people as soon as they get a hold of me. And I've also got, my samples on my phone ready to send people. Should I not be in the office? Sometimes I'm in a parking lot waiting for my wife to get off work, and I'll send out a sample. It's, again, what would make you hire someone as a buyer? Do that.
And we're in this course we're about to tell you about. We give you templates to use.
Sure. Yes.
So many, like I'm away, or I'm asleep, or things like that, and they
Exactly.
understand that. Okay. Over delivering, Andy, boy, you are the king of that. We teach you so much about how to over deliver, and that builds trust when you start to acquire a customer, right?
Well, it's not just on Fiverr, but it's in all of our voiceover offerings, which is what Fiverr has taught me, is, if somebody gives you a short script to record, instead of just giving them one take and then hoping that that's what they want, I'll give them a few. I'll give them a few. Give them 3 or 4. Give them some different options if it's a character voice. So the thing is, and people, and then you give them when they tell you, I don't know which one to use now because they're all great. You go, that's it. They're clients for life.
Right.
And so also, if maybe the delivery is set for 2 days, but if a client is new, I always put them at the front of the line.
That's great.
A first-time buyer, always at the front of the line, because
awesome.
they took a chance on me, so I'm going to deliver. And, it's how can we do better, faster, bigger, stronger, in whatever this person is offering. Maybe I'll give them, I just translated a client's on-screen graphics because I noticed that wasn't part of his order. I'm going to give it to him for free because it's like five little lines for his video on the installation of some fluted metal panels. Why not? He's going to be happy about it. I'm going to tell him that I did it. And more than likely, Kevin is going to go ahead and send me a little money because we always try to get people's first names so we can humanize this thing.
That's beautiful.
Also part of
you have Andy's got days and days of tips, and you're going to get them all in the upcoming Fiverr. You are Mr. Thorough, Mr. Thorough. It's amazing. So look, this isn't for everybody. It's not for people who are unreliable, who bugging out is more important than client work, for people who are not coachable or hypersensitive, people who are antisocial. You can be an introvert, but obviously you need to enjoy interacting with your customers, and people who are tech averse and have poor audio quality.